With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers for Zeke from last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that with production. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now Foles drops it underneath to Elliott. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody cut. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On second down and 4, Foles in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jake Butt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater to throw it. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, and trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. On second and 12, Bridgewater nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's McCoy. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Bridgewater. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 28.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. And again, it's Bridgewater. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
A 10-play drive that time, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You would.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Draw play, Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now they'll try and run the sweep to McCoy. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
On 2nd and 12, Bridgewater. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Like 50. Like 50.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a 1st down. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Switch.
They'll run with Elliott, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is caught. I think he got that with 1 hand. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 26.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Let's go, D.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater, and the catch made by Hopkins. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He's got Fuller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now on 2nd and 13, Bridgewater, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as his guys are able to regain the lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
Yeah, especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. Here's Foles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Foles throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lamb. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Completes it to Lee. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Jake Butt. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The kick by Lambeau is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes... The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. but at the same time, I don't like the odds.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw here. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's Logan Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
Here we go.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Bridgewater. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check, 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 check.
Now Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is down to a field goal. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Houston. Back to it after the pick six. Bridgewater. It's complete to Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 10th carry now for McCoy. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Bridgewater now. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
McCoy. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw is Bridgewater. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go to Elliott again. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Fielded at the 33. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Bridgewater. It's complete to Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 56 yards. And the Texans push further out in front.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
It wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Foles. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. They'll go again to McCoy. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 12-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run on first down. McCoy. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. A give the first man through Gillespie of the fullback. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position, the ball comes out, there. And that only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Looking to throw again on second down. Foles, complete out right to Jake Butt. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies, and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Partner, I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
44, Mike, 44. Bring it. 44 is the Mike, 44 is Mike. Check.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Now Foles. And he completes it to Westbrook.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Breon Body Calhoun, a sack coming off the corner blitz.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Here's Foles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up a throw. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. To throw again on second down. Foles, you got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. Foles finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So Houston going to